This episode is powered by Poddex. Poddex are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Use code CinemaGold for 10% off your first order.
Welcome to the Cinema Gold Podcast with your host, Larry Leese. Come join us as Cinema Gold dives into the latest Hollywood films and news.
Welcome to an all-new episode of the Cinema Gold Podcast. I'm your host, Larry Leese. Today we're diving into the news of the delay of Morbius to 7 months with the release in October. Morbius had plans to come out in March, basically just 2 months away. Originally scheduled to release in summer 2020, it was eventually delayed because of the current pandemic. Now it's not coming out until October. The Hollywood Reporter first broke the news, who said that Jared Leto's Morbius will not be haunting audiences in March. The Sony and Marvel film has moved its release date to October 8th. It had previously been set for March 18th. The move comes as theater-going remains uncertain amid the coronavirus pandemic. The film was previously slated for last July before the pandemic delayed it. Morbius had already been pushed back once, but nobody should be surprised that it's being moved again. The reason being that none of us should be shocked is because it was going to come out mid-March. We're already in mid-January right now, and they just started to roll out vaccinations. I mean, they've only vaccinated like a small percentage of people who really need to get these vaccinations. Across the country, states are converting certain facilities into vaccination centers. California just turned Dodger Stadium into one such center. The reality is we are still just at the beginning stages of vaccinations. We are hearing very promising things about where we could be by the end of April, May, or even June. I think under the most optimistic appraisals, I thought mid-March was not looking like a good bet, so I think people in charge knew that Morbius was definitely one that was probably going to move. My biggest concern now is how does this impact Venom? Morbius was scheduled to drop first. With Venom 2, there will be Carnage dropping after. Fans and insiders are now asking whether this means that Venom will move to November or even December. If they do, I don't think they'll be moving Venom because they are not confident in June 25th. I think right now most of the film industry is feeling positive about the summer release season. But if they move it, it's because it's obvious the stories are connected. While the studio has not officially said if the two films are connected, they worked hard to make sure that Venom 2 comes after Morbius. Now that Morbius is moved, I think studios will look to delay the release of Venom after October, so that fans see Morbius first and then move into Venom. Having to wait even longer is a bummer. I've been dying to see this Morbius movie. The trailer looks awesome, and I think Jared Leto will kill it. However, I'm glad it's still coming out this year, instead of being pushed into who knows when, 2023, 2024, indefinitely. So now we have to wait and see what happens to Venom 2, and see if the studio does change the release date. I think they will. Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Send us a tweet at CinemaGold2. Are you surprised movies are still being delayed? What do you think will happen with Venom? There will be Carnage. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcasts from. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts. Share with your friends. And if you want to be featured on an upcoming episode, send us a voice message at 682-305-0483. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Cinema Gold Podcast. If you want to become a supporter, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. Follow us on Twitter at CinemaGold2 and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/cinemagoldmovies.